Julia Lennon was the mother of English musician John Lennon, who was born during her marriage to Alfred Lennon. After complaints to Liverpool social services by her eldest sister Mimi Smith, she handed over the care of her son to her sister Mimi. She later had one daughter after an affair with a Welsh soldier, but the baby was given up for adoption after pressure from her family. She then had two daughters, Julie and Jackie, with John Bobby Dykins. She never divorced her husband, preferring to live as the common-law wife of Dykins for the rest of her life. On the 15th of July 1958, Juliet was knocked down and killed by a car driven by an off-duty policeman close to her sister's house at 251 Menlove Avenue. And it was at this junction where she was knocked down and killed just after she'd visited John at Mimi's house, which is right behind me. So we'll just take a little walk down Menlove Avenue. I'll just show you John Lennon's childhood house. See lots and lots of tourists outside of here every time you go past. So if you got 249 and the one next to it is 251. Let's take a look at the sign on the front. Obviously you can't go in. There's a plaque on the wall there. John Lennon, musician and songwriter, lived here 1945 to 1963. So yeah, as I mentioned, when Julia visited John, as she did on regular occasions, she was crossing Menlove Avenue, and it was somewhere here where she was knocked down and killed. Hello and welcome to another video. Today I am at Allerton Cemetery in Liverpool, and I have come to visit the grave of Julia Lennon, the mother of rock legend John Lennon. Now, there's a little bit of a local myth involved around this grave, and shortly after when John was killed and he was cremated, his ashes apparently were flown back to this cemetery, and late one night the cemetery was closed off, floodlights were put up over the grave, and John apparently was buried with his mum. Now, apparently it was confirmed by a local policeman at the time. People were asking what was going on. Apparently it got back to the Liverpool Echo, although I can't find anything from the archives to confirm this. All I can find really is when John was killed. So up until now, I wasn't really going to do a video on it, but I've managed to speak to someone who is somehow connected to it, and he sort of confirmed that, yes, John apparently is buried with his mother. So basically today's video is, you know, has anyone else heard of this myth? I mean, I've asked people from surrounding areas like Speke, Garston, Hunts Cross and that, and pretty much everyone has said the same thing, that they've heard, you know, that sort of myth. So yeah, today's video was just, has anyone else heard this? Because, you know, up until now it is just sort of like hearsay and stuff like that. So the guy who I spoke to, I'll play some audio now. There's a little bit of swearing in it. I will try my best to sort of like bleep it out. The first voice you'll hear is mine. The second voice you'll hear is the man in question, who tells me all about this grave. So just before I do play the audio, I've lowered the tone of it a little bit just to sort of protect identities and stuff like that. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Was it you who told me about that thing in Springwood Cemetery with John Lennon's grave?
Yeah, it's there.
So is that...
It's definitely in there.
Yeah?
What happened, true story this, I opened the Liverpool Echo. John Lennon gets shot.
Yeah.
They put him on ice. He was coming home to Liverpool shortly after.
Right.
Right? Yoko Ono herself said that. My is his cousin.
Right.
And we had a party with Julia Lennon,
Right.
his sister. And like a soft I got a bit pissed, and I said, "Is John there, Julia?" True this. Well, Lenny Dykins is his relative. And she said, "I don't even know that. That was his sister."
Oh, what?
His half sister. And what happened? come the end of February, they're digging the cemetery up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and people phoned up, got back to the Echo, and he said, oh, we're doing the priest phoned her back, I believe, and said, well, it's Tuesday night, I believe, and said, no, we're doing an exhumation, or what is it?
Oh, exhuming, yeah.
Yeah, when he and they reckon he was burying Lennon with his mother.
Wow.
And it's a sandstone now with a cat.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
And then John's just over the, like, Dykins is just over the...
That's it,
way in here.
Bobby Dykins.
Wow.
John Robert, but his nickname was Bobby Dykins. Well, that's Lenny's cousin.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I put Beatles on, she said, oh, do you like the Beatles? 3 months later, I like the Beatles. Tapes.
Yeah.
I put that in there. And then, yeah. She said, Lenny's his cousin, you know, he used to play cricket with him, and then he was 10, he was 15. And I saw Lenny and said, he was 35 years on the buses in Green Lane, this Lenny's Dykins. I said, that's not, he didn't tell me, he related to Lenny. He said, no, I never mentioned it. Anyway, what happened? His niece come to my house, and she this one tell you, George. And she said, guess who was in my house, in our house with my dad before, and I'm going, someone related to someone famous, and he never dropped, you know, and I went, could be anyone, John Wayne. No, she said, Julia Lennon, and she'd been to India teaching English. She's a teacher. You'd say it, no, like. And she went to the graveyard, but they put another 10 rows. She couldn't find the grave. It had a cat on it and 2 dancing shoes.
I've seen
the cat still on it.
The cat's still there, yeah.
It's a sandstone now with John Julia. It's got the names on it,
all
it?
down, yeah.
Anyway, long story short, the Echo threw a story on about page 3 or 4 then, has Lennon come home?
Oh, right.
Right. No, also, last year, no VE Day.
Yeah.
And I didn't know Paul McCartney's mother's buried in UC Cemetery, 100 yards from my own mother. I went, nah, she lived in Allerton, why she'd be buried? No. So when everyone went home, we were all out in the front with the band things hanging. I said to the wife, go on with it. Sure enough, there was a camera on the grave. No stone, I put flowers on it.
Wow.
I kid you not, I put flowers on it, George.
Wow.
And it went to the grave, and it went round and said, that's the middle of this, and then you seen the old church in Newton. Buried in Newton. And I said, Paul McCartney's mother is buried there. No stone.
Wow.
I know where it was. Lennon come home in 1969, brought that Yoko, knocked off the 9 Newcastle Road. Echo again.
Yeah.
Right. Fella opened the door, John Lennon in a white suit with his glasses, long hair. Hair in a white suit. He said, can I come in? Anyway, brought them in. He took her to the graveyard and sprayed on the gravestone for his mother. He had it removed. All that was left was a cat. And true stories this. But now, once that Julia, his half-sister, found the grave, she's had the sand. Have you seen it? The sandstone with the John.
It was slate last time I seen it, yeah?
Yeah. Slate.
Slate, yeah.
Slate, that's Welsh.
And there's a bit of sandstone on the bottom of it.
Yeah, well, that's Welsh. That's Welsh slate.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Wow.
And he told me that. And, oh, that's what. She comes here, guess who's in there, blah, blah, blah. And my dad and me, I went with my dad and showed where the grave was. So I went, where is it? Can you remember? Yeah, get it in my car. That's how I know where it is.
Took it up, yeah.
She took me.
Her
niece.
Wow.
Yeah. Up to that tree and then just walked.
Goes to the tree and turned right, yeah. And then it was you that told me about the story, but...
Definitely buried there. They were digging the section up under floodlight at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that from a few people, to be honest with you. Really mad.
No, that's true about Lennon, you know.
Right, so here we have the grave and gravestone of John Lennon's mum. Simple piece of slate. As I say, it used to be a cross years ago. So we have Mummy, we have John, Victoria, which is a long lost half sister, and his 2 other half sisters, Julia and Jackie. Victoria was later renamed Ingrid, I believe, after birth. And what you've got basically on this grave is Little catties. The grave is still tended to, because most times when I've come down here, there has been flowers put down and stuff like that. And it's just sort of like sandstone. Let's just pan the camera down here. Now, Julia did have an affair with a Welsh soldier. That was where Victoria was born. And the Julia and Jackie she had with John Dykins. Now, another sort of like little rumour involved in all this is apparently John always said that he did not want Mr. Dykins buried with his mum. Now, obviously, here is his mum's grave, and if you sort of stand up and right behind, sort of like 2 rows down, lies the grave of John Dykins. So as you can see there, Daddy, Julia and Jackie, which is his 2 kids. Some Christmas tinsel as well. And if you just sort of pan down here, in memory of John, it says Dykins just there. So yeah, I don't know how true that was, but you know, again, lots of people have said the same thing as well, that John didn't want him buried with his mum. So obviously they buried him separately or out the way. So it's just a bit strange that this grave's here and his mum's grave is just over yonder there. So yeah. All the times I've been down here as well, that's the first time I've actually seen something put on that grave. Right, so there we have it. This video really is just, as I said, about has anyone else heard the same thing, and it's just be interesting to hear other people's stories on this, or you know, obviously leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think, or let me know what you've heard. But this grave does get quite a lot of attention. It does get tended to quite a lot, and as I say, beforehand was just a little cross. Now there's just a simple sort of bit of slate, and as I say, some sandstone on the bottom as well. Julia Lennon. Very interesting sort of rumour, that one I've sort of been fascinated with ever since I've heard it, to be honest with you. So yeah, as I say, if anyone knows anything about it or heard any sort of rumours the same, please leave a comment below. And cheers for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.